I've got a brand new set of Kicker KM6200. These are the Marine 6.5-inch 2-way coaxial marine speakers. These are the 6200 series. These come in 2 ohms and 4 ohms as well. The ones I'm going to be reviewing right now are in the 2 ohms. Now, right off the bat, from taking first glance, of course, as always, Stillwater Kicker has always made good quality stuff. It shows, and it shows really brightly to me. It's so evident, especially even just with the wire, the stuff that they take, you know, most manufacturers take for, you know, for granted. That's the kind of stuff that I look at. Look at all the little terminations. Gold plated, nice. All the pre-soldered tips. I like to see things like that. I like to see nice stainless steel hardware with the speed clips. Love it. Even these extra little goodies, so that way you can do all your connectors. Zip ties if you want to mount your wires. Who else is giving you that? I don't know. These speakers play extremely well. They play very loud. I'll explain it to you this way. If you're the kind of person who is looking for replacing your 2 or 4 sets of speakers on your boat and looking to get the absolute ultimate in full range sound, this is probably not the best choice of a speaker. I'm sorry to say that. I know that other Kicker products would be better suited, and of course these are, you know, these are just, they're $100 range, you know, coaxial speakers, so they shouldn't be everything to everyone. But these speakers really exceptionally thrive with the low frequencies. I mean, just look at these monster baskets. I mean, if you could feel the weight through this camera, you would understand what I'm talking about. There is a big magnet structure in the speaker. Up in here, I want to show you. This thing is called Mid-Range City. Look at that. And this thing, I can't even believe how heavy this thing is. And right here you have a 3/4 inch tweeter. So what happens is, it's almost like having a little miniature component speaker system. When you put the two together and you call this a coaxial, what it is a lot of which to me is great for a lot of I guess modern music, because modern music is just so lousy. But if you listen to old stuff like Led Zeppelin and Eagles and good soulful rock and roll type of music that has and benefits from all the full range of instrumentation, these speakers are just a little lackluster in my opinion. I think that it's great that they have a ton of mid-bass, and they certainly do. The gel coat finish, the color finish, in my interpretation, this looks a little bit, I don't know if this is going to come out in the camera, but on the box it looks like it's really bright white, and like for me, I'm a boater myself, so I can say this very honestly from experience that, you know, a lot of boats from 2003 and newer have a very bright white gel coat finish. These ones have an almost like a slightly ivory type of off-white type of finish. So in that respect, I'm not really sold on that. And another thing I'm not really sold on is the speaker screw separation. You see what's going on here? You have this 4-hole setup. If you're doing an OEM upgrade, like your boat came with some cheap, you know, type of speakers, a lot of times they're going to have 6 holes. Now, if the size covers, you know, who cares? You can cover it up. You make your 4 new pilot holes, drill them in there, and be done with it, and that's fine and good. However, you know, 4, it's 4, okay? So the back side, I want to show you something, because if you are going from one speaker to another, you're going to need to know for a fact what your overall dimensions are. So let me start with the front. 6 3/4 is what the doctor ordered for the front size, and I already have the cutout size written down, so I'll tell you what that is. Your mounting hole diameter is 5 1/8, so you need 5 1/8 cutout hole to pop these speakers into your gel coat or into your boat finish, wood, whatever your finish is. Your depth is 2 7/8, so just less than 3 inches on your depth, like this. That's your 2 7/8. Okay, so that's pretty much it. You got a 6-inch mid bass, and you have a 3/4 inch titanium tweeter. And the titanium tweeters are really well known for cutting through, you know, and giving you that super bright, harsh high. And I personally am a huge fan of that. But I'm also a fan of amplifiers, mid bass, front and rear stage, and also filling out a system with a sub to get the full spectrum of speakers and their capacity to do what they need to do, especially in a harsh environment like a boat. But here's some things on the positive side for these Kickers. They have a water drain, which I've never seen, and it allows the water, as long as you mount the speaker according to how Kicker wants, because up here they have their logo. If you put it like so, the water should drain directly right out of the speaker without it having a buildup. Myself, I've been an owner of several different kinds of speakers. Polk, which I love, Pioneers, which I hate, Infinities, which I'm currently running and I absolutely adore, and I wish they never took away the white style. Now they have these weird looking chrome ones. So Kicker has them all beat because of the finish. This is the classic traditional look and style speaker. This is the kind of stuff that I like to see. I don't like any of that weird stuff, and I'm sure that you probably agree because most guys are with me on that. So all in all, I mean, if you want volume, they'll take it. If you got to put it on an amp, these things will sound amazing. I think they're a good choice. I really like the quality. I love everything that Stillwater's always been so well known for, is just creating and adding quality to everything that they do, and I love that little touch, and that makes me happy. So for the price point, I know that these things online have had wishy-washy reviews. Some people really rave about them, and I think that the people that really rave about them have been Kicker owners in the past, and maybe, you know, had some wild, you know, car audio system when they were a kid, and it just brings back fond memories. But I have to keep it real. 65 watts RMS, not so much. I'd say maybe these things realistically would take 45 to 50 before they distort, and especially if they're crossed over properly, because you can't run super subsonic frequencies to the speakers because they simply cannot tolerate it. Although that their ratings say that they would, in all reality, no, they won't. And no 6.5, in my opinion, really, that I've ever seen, with the exception of a couple that just cost way too much and nobody would buy because they're too expensive, can actually handle in a real day-to-day basis. So overall, I'd give these speakers an 8 out of 10, and that's my review of the Kicker KM6200W, which is in the white color.